We are poolplaza.com, and today we're going to talk about salt systems or salt chlorine generators. The salt chlorine generators have become very popular in the last several years as the primary sanitizing system for swimming pools. They don't work for every swimming pool. One of the most common misconceptions is that when someone uses a salt system, it substitutes for the chlorine in the pool. When you use a salt chlorine generator, you will still be using chlorine. The salt in the water is run through the salt cell, and the chlorine in the salt molecules is separated out and goes into the water. Chlorine is the most effective sanitizer for pool water, and when you use a salt system, you eliminate most of the problems that occur when you use regular powdered or tablet form chlorine. As long as the swimming pool pump is working and the electricity is on to the chlorine generator, you will be continuously adding chlorine in small amounts to the pool water. Before you make the purchase of a salt chlorine generator, there are several issues you need to consider about your particular pool. The first is the size of the pool. The chlorine generators made for residential pools go up to a maximum of 60,000 gallons of water. And generally you want to buy a system that can work for more water than you have in your pool. If you have over 55,000 gallons, you may want to consider that to properly chlorinate that pool, you would need either a custom-made salt generating system or more than one system installed together. Another issue is older filters and pumps that are made of metal such as stainless steel or bronze. The salt is very corrosive, and if you have an older stainless steel filter or a bronze pump, a salt chlorine generator is not a good choice for your pool. If you have an older heater that has copper heat exchangers and copper headers or bronze headers or cast iron headers, then you may not want to use the salt system because, again, the salt has considerable corrosive effect. If you want to use a heater with a salt system, you should choose a heater that has cupronickel heat exchangers for better service and longer life. Pools that have a lot of rock or bare concrete may be adversely affected by the salt in the water. In order to alleviate that problem, you would need to add a finish to the rock and the concrete, such as Deco Shield, which is readily available and works very well to prevent scaling and staining and corrosion on the rock and concrete. Any pool that uses a salt system should also have some kind of timer or electronic control system to turn the pump on and off, and the salt system as well when the pump is running. If you have decided that your pool is a good candidate for the salt chlorine generator system, there are a number of advantages to using the salt chlorine generator over regular types of chlorine. The first and primary advantage is that you don't have to buy chlorine in either tablet or powder form, and you don't have to store chlorine at your home. Chlorine has become expensive and the price continues to rise, and storing chlorine on your residential premises is both a fire hazard and a hazard to the health of adults and children. One of the other concerns of pool owners is that whenever they're away from home, their pool may get out of control, and when they come home, the pool could be green or have algae growing or various other problems. With a salt chlorine generator that's installed with a timer or automatic control, you don't have to worry about this problem. While you're away from home, the salt chlorine generator will continue to work, adding very small amounts of chlorine whenever the pump is running, and it will keep the pool clear and sanitary. Over the long run, pool owners save time and money, and the pool always looks good and is much easier to maintain and keep under control. Having a salt chlorine generator doesn't mean you can ignore such things as testing the water and making chemical adjustments. You should not have to add chlorine to the water, but you still need to test the chlorine level. Even though the power center has indicators for how much salt is in the pool, you still need to test for salt level. You need to test for pH, and you need generally to keep an eye on the chemicals just like you always would have in maintaining your pool. But having this system makes it much easier to make the adjustments and to keep up with the chlorine and the other chemical adjustments that have to be made. With all the brands of salt chlorine generator, it is possible for you to combine the control system for the pool that operates the pump and other electronic items with the salt system into a single set of equipment. If you do this, let the person you're buying the system from know what you want to do, and they can give you a system that includes both automatic controls and the salt system, and you would only have one control box that you need, one power center, instead of two. If you're interested in buying a salt system, there's a great deal of information on the poolplaza.com website. You can also call us weekdays between 8 and 5 at 214-221-6900, or you can email us anytime at info@poolplaza.com.